After the battle, silence takes over. The battlefield, once alive with the clash of swords and the cries of warriors, is now a haunting wasteland. The only sounds are the distant cawing of crows, the faint groans of the wounded, and the soft rustle of wind moving through the corpses. The air is thick with the metallic scent of blood and the stench of death. Victory or defeat no longer matters here, only survival. Scattered across the field are shattered shields, broken spears, and discarded banners. Just hours ago, these were symbols of power and glory. Now, they are nothing more than remnants of chaos. The ground is slick with mud, blood, and the crushed remains of warriors who will never march again. As dusk falls, dark figures move across the field. These aren't looters or desperate scavengers. They are the Roman army's cleanup crews, sent to restore order to the devastation. This is the grim, necessary aftermath of war. The battle may be over, but their work is just beginning. The first priority, the wounded. Every second counts. Those who can be saved must be found and treated immediately. If they are lucky, they receive basic first aid on the spot and are transported to makeshift field hospitals. But in ancient times, medical treatment is more guesswork than science. Infection is common. Wounds that would be minor today can be fatal. Some soldiers will take weeks or months to heal, if they even survive that long. Officers move through the carnage with their own grim duty, counting the dead and the wounded. Every fallen soldier must be accounted for. Each name, each missing shield, each broken weapon, it all gets recorded and reported to the higher ranks. A legion is only as strong as its numbers, and every loss means more training, more money, and more time needed to replace them. But the dead are just as important as the living. A warrior must ensure his fallen comrades receive proper burials, not just out of respect, but for the morale of the living. If soldiers believe they will be left to rot where they fall, how can they be expected to fight with honor? However, individual graves are a luxury that Rome cannot afford in the chaos of war. Mass graves are dug, bodies piled in by the dozens. Sometimes, entire groups of fallen warriors are cremated together in great pyres. But not all soldiers receive the same fate. High-ranking officers, centurions, and generals are given special treatment. Their deaths are marked with battlefield ceremonies, attended by the soldiers they once commanded. Some of Rome's greatest warriors have been immortalized, their names etched in stone, their sacrifices remembered for centuries. And what of the enemy? That depends. If they are from a civilized nation, they might be captured, treated, and turned into slaves. If they are valuable enough, they might even be exchanged for Roman prisoners. But Rome's less fortunate foes, the so-called barbarians, meet a much crueler fate. Many are simply left to die, their bodies abandoned to decay in the sun. To the Romans, they are nothing more than obstacles swept away by the tide of conquest. Capturing an enemy leader, however, is an entirely different matter. A general, a king, or a noble warrior can be a prize worth more than gold. Ransoms bring wealth, land, and prestige. Some captives are paraded through Rome's streets in chains, a living testament to Rome's dominance. Others are executed in gruesome displays, their deaths meant to send a clear message. Rome does not forgive, and Rome does not forget. Meanwhile, the work is far from over. Blacksmiths and craftsmen move in, repairing whatever can be salvaged. Armor, shields, and swords are mended and redistributed. Soldiers return to the battlefield to retrieve their fallen comrades' gear, or to scavenge from the enemy. Romans are practical. A sword is a sword, no matter who wielded it. Even enemy weapons and armor are collected for emergencies. But not everything is put back into service. Some pieces, rare, beautifully crafted weapons, decorated armor, and banners from fallen enemies, are taken as trophies. These symbols of victory often end up displayed in temples, homes of Roman nobles, or even gifted to commanders as tokens of conquest. However, the most valuable prizes, the true spoils of war, are guarded by special teams. According to Roman law, all battlefield loot belongs to the general, who decides how it will be distributed. In theory, soldiers are forbidden from taking anything for themselves. In reality, looting is an inevitable part of war. Some soldiers take what they can: rings, coins, small trinkets, anything that can be hidden from their officers. A lucky few find true treasure, a finely crafted saddle, an enemy noble's jewelry, or even furniture from an abandoned war tent. The real challenge is not finding valuables, it's smuggling them back to camp without being caught. Occasionally, a general may allow looting as a reward for a hard-fought battle. But this is rare. Uncontrolled looting leads to fights, disorder, and breakdowns in discipline. And in the Roman army, discipline is everything. Any soldier caught stealing when he shouldn't be can expect swift and brutal punishment. When the battlefield is finally cleared, when the wounded are tended to, the dead buried, and the spoils distributed, the true test of the legion begins. These moments after battle reveal the army's true strength, not just in combat, but in its ability to maintain order, morale, and discipline. For some soldiers, this is just another day in the life of a Roman warrior. For others, it's a chance to seize opportunity, to survive, to profit, or to prepare for the next war. Because in the end, war doesn't favor the strongest. It favors those who know how to take advantage of the chaos. And in that chaos, some soldiers rise while others fall. For the hardened veterans, this is nothing new. They've learned that survival isn't just about skill with a sword. It's about knowing when to fight, when to obey, and when to take risks. These are the men who know which officers turn a blind eye to looting, which quartermasters can be bribed, and which assignments are more likely to get them killed. For the younger, inexperienced soldiers, the aftermath of battle is a brutal lesson. The glory they imagined before their first real fight is nowhere to be found. Instead, they are surrounded by death, exhaustion, and the realization that no one is coming to save them if they fail. They see comrades they laughed with just hours ago now lifeless on the ground. Some will harden their hearts and adapt. Others will break. But there is little time for reflection. The Roman army does not allow its men to dwell on loss. Orders must be followed. Camps must be fortified. The next battle is never far away. For some, war is an opportunity. Officers who handle the logistics of war, the distribution of supplies, the counting of the dead, the management of loot, can use their positions for personal gain. Corruption is inevitable. A soldier might return from battle with an enemy's golden brooch, but an officer could walk away with entire chests of treasure. And those who play the game well enough may climb the ranks faster than those who rely on skill alone. But war is also unpredictable. A legion that wins today could be ambushed tomorrow. A soldier who loots an enemy's corpse may find himself on the other side of the blade in the next battle. There is no true safety, only the illusion of control. As the battlefield is cleared, the army moves on, leaving behind only graves, ashes, and the echoes of violence. But for the men who fought, the war never truly leaves them. Some carry scars on their bodies, others in their minds. The smell of blood, the weight of armor, the screams of the dying, these stay with a man long after he returns home. And if he is lucky enough to survive long enough to retire, to leave the battlefield behind, will he ever truly escape it? Or will he always be a soldier, waiting for the next fight, because war is the only life he has ever known?